Hey, Motorman here. Whenever I have a student in the class that has a bike that I haven't ridden before, I always like to take it for a ride, see how it handles and what it feels like to me so I can know the degree of difficulty. I've never been on one of these Indian bikes. This is the Indian Chief, and first thing I notice is the throttle response, like all Indians I've ridden, is very slow. So that's something I'm not crazy about, but that's just the way it is. So I'm going to run it through the intersection and see how the bike feels. All right, so my evaluation for low-speed handling, it's pretty good. It's, I would say, equivalent to most of the Harley Softails like the Heritage. Handles very similar to that. Ground clearance probably about the same as most of the Harley Softails. And really no problem at all with this bike. Not exactly my cup of tea as far as styling, but it's not a bad looking bike. And you got the saddlebags, I believe they come on this model. The woman who owns this said she ordered a windshield for it and it's on back order. She's been waiting like a year. That's something you don't get with Harley Davidson. Anything you want, if Harley doesn't have it, the aftermarket does. But it is a nice feeling bike, nice and smooth, and it seems to have plenty of power. Hey, Motorman here with my tip of the week. We're at the class. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. It's like 73 degrees. I feel bad for you if you're up where it's below 70 below zero. But anyway, we're at the offset cone weave exercise and we've added some circles to it. The most important thing when you're making these circles, and the reason we make circles is because it forces you to use your head and eyes, the most important of the three techniques. But the trick to it is, if you're going to make a left circle, you want to snap your head to the left and keep your head turned the entire time. It doesn't look like this, a slow motion head turn. It's a quick snap of the head, and the head stays completely over your left shoulder as far as possible, your head and eyes, the entire time until the circle is completed. Obviously, if you turn your head straight even for a split second, that's gonna make the bars go straight for a split second, and you're gonna be out of line. So watch very carefully, and I'll show you some of my students doing the opposite. Also, speed here is important. You gotta be above 5 miles an hour. If you're creeping along at 5 miles an hour and you make a little mistake, chances are the bike's gonna go down. If you're above 5 miles an hour, you got more force pulling you forward than pulling you down. If you'd make very slow head turns, your circle is gonna be gigantic. If you snap your head, either way, whatever direction, if you snap your head and keep it turned as far as possible, your circles will be nice and tight. Okay. both the head and the eyes must turn. If you turn your head in in one direction and your eyes are looking in another, well, it's not going to work. So you have to train yourself to turn your head and eyes. And this is the most important of the 3 techniques because you use it at all speeds. Out on the road, you better be using your head and eyes. You better be looking well ahead of your path of travel. If you're going to make a turn, turn your head and eyes. You're coming around a big turn, a bend at 50 or 60 miles an hour, you don't want to run off that curve. So if the road curves to the right, you want to start in the extreme left-hand portion. Take a late apex and keep your head and eyes turned the entire time, looking where you want to put that motorcycle. Never look at the double yellow line or the oncoming car. That's about it. It's really simple stuff, but you got to practice it in order to get really good at it like anything else.